Okay, it's actually a nice kind of lake. It's a bit cloudy now, but it's a nice lake I'm at, and fake, but still. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel kind of disillusioned, a bit disheartened. I'll get over it. It's not the worst I've felt. It's not that dramatic, but just reminders, kind of somber reminders of what life used to be like. I saw an advertisement of just like, to-go food, like, food that you would eat if you were going out kind of thing. It wasn't often, but it was occasional, kind of frequent. I know that's oxymoron or whatever, it doesn't make sense. But I don't know. Once a week, a few times a week, once every other week. Nothing that fancy, but still. And now I've had that in at least a year. Yeah. No, has it been a year? Maybe over a year. It's been a bit. It's what occurs when you don't have money. There's times where you can't even feed yourself correctly. And family's not there for you. Well, if you're very lucky, let's just say if you're lucky. If you're lucky, family will make sure that you have housing, you have the minimum of the minimum, and I'm talking about minimum. And, if you look on the outside, it's like technically I have more than that, live in a nice area. I don't really count that in terms of generosity because family, they lived in a nice area, nice home and stuff. They had a certain lifestyle before I came around anyway, so that would have continued regardless. It just was a coincidence that, of course, whatever they had to give me that was free anyway, that they had anyway, it's not like they're going to give me another form of shelter just to myself and add more costs. No. So. But I was saying if you're lucky, you'll have family who will give you their shelter and you get the joy of living with them, which can be a nightmare. And then they give you literally nothing, nothing else. And family, same thing. Friends, neighbors, stuff like that. The outside community, quote unquote, outside environment, that's really what it should be called nowadays. They give you basically nothing too. So you better get used to going without for at least a bit. And the job market now sucks. Anyway, I'm just whining about I don't know what. So, I'm trying to show the realities of what it is to be low income, and that means no income sometimes. So, I went to a bank, basically the bank that I used to bank with, that they may have closed my account, I don't know. But basically it was because I owed money through overdraft fees technically, and basically I charged transactions on a card and I did not have sufficient funds. So essentially I borrowed money I didn't have, and they don't do that for free. It's not a kindness, it's a way to make money. And shockingly enough, I didn't even think to I did look at the transactions, but they made me wait a while. It was at least a month after making all these small transactions. Then finally I could see what the heck did I because initially I could only see about like $300 worth or something. So I never got a full breakdown whatsoever of what exactly was charged to the account. And it's just a normal checkings or savings account. So now I thought today, once I was reminded of that fact, like I should just go and look through the transactions. I mean, it's too late to fix anything as far as that. What's done is done, but just curious as to what did I waste the money on? And then you guys can, if I share that, you guys can like judge whether it was necessary or not. Because I must have made some necessary transactions. Doesn't make sense. Or maybe not, I don't know. I know I bought like a few things I needed for myself, absolutely, like shorts, a thing of shoes. I bought something I thought was for my own security, and it was stolen. The irony, it was like a lock, a digital lock. I got a automatic for animals feeder, even though I wasn't going to give the animals that much because, well, there's a whole backstory to that. Basically, there was someone already feeding them, but I thought, just occasionally, if needed, maybe small amounts. But I wanted something where it would do it automatically. I wouldn't have to think about it. Like if I had a normal busy day, it would have like an automatic timing, and just at certain times dispense the food onto the tray. So that got stolen. So many items, like half of what I ordered got stolen. And you're like, how, if you live in a safe area? Because the individual I live with stole them. That's how. Quite easy. Yeah. Did I get a single item back? Oh, I got a few, but very small amount. Not even a quarter. I didn't even get most of the money back either of what it was worth. So, I mean, I was offered today all of a sudden, like, oh, I'll take care of about $1,000 worth. And I'm thinking in my head, first off, I'm giving someone information that they're going to hold, I know them. So it's their nature. They're going to hold it over me and remind me every chance they can get. So there's that. And then also it's like, well, the balance was like 2,000 something, 2,500. I think that increased maybe with interest or something, not sure. I asked if I can close the account, and then I forgot what was said, but basically it seemed like not worth it to continue to insist, or to start to insist. So yeah, I went to that bank that I owed the money to, and thinking like, okay, maybe I can I highly doubted it, but I went ahead and tried. I thought maybe I could get a new bank account, because I have none. I don't have an active bank account right now. So basically I got some checks, and I'm like, maybe I can cash them. And the, least costly way, the normal way would be to, at least where I come from, is most folks have a bank account for that reason and many others. So normally it's free if you do bank with institution. So I don't know if this issue is going to cause me to, so that's going to be documented, I guess, we'll see if that issue is going to, everywhere is going to deny me, or what the case is. There's another bank I could try. There's at least 2 others that I could try. I did try online several banks, and they said, oh, we can't because of verification. There's a few reasons, but because of verification, we can't verify. There's actually fish in there, but in the lake. But they're like, oh, we can't verify you, some other reasons, stuff like that. So Yeah. I'm gonna go back in a few minutes. I'm basically outside, as you can see. So there was that. So I don't know what's going to go on with banking, and I feel kind of disheartened. And then the individual that did all that, stealing, was like, I felt real bad and guilty for just a second, because she was tearing, a little bit, like crying or whatever. And I'm thinking in my head, like, you didn't do this. Very different attitude when you were stealing, but and if you're so like heartbroken over my financial situation, then there were many times, many ways there still is many ways where this individual could take care of some of that debt that she caused, but she hasn't. So save your tears for something convincing, right? That's just how I feel about it. I did try to, on a lighter note, I did try to date, and yeah, that's been an emotional roller coaster. I did not meet anyone. I tried like 2 weeks ago to see if there was anyone I would be considering to meet and maybe bring into my life one day, and very few. Like, I don't even know if there's anyone, to be honest, there's no one I'm totally like for sure excited about, feel like it's gonna be a good fit. There was one individual where I feel like I was kind of neutral, and I was warming to him a little bit. He was kind of hitting a soft spot in my heart, but then he quit talking to me. So I thought maybe something might occur, but I was not full invested, and there wasn't. It was still very uncertain. So I don't know. Basically, all my matches, which there's only a few that I even started talking to. For me, I'm just like, okay, the guy has to initiate. That's just how I feel. I wouldn't be totally against initiating, but that's just, I feel that that's better, That makes more sense for me at this time in my life, as far as what would, fit me. It's like that kind of character would fit me. So it's not an absolute must, but it's like I'd rather arrange things to where it's that way. And most of my matches would not start talking to me. And like all these matches, all these guys are just, they'll give you a sentence if you're lucky. You're like, some of me, it feels like, am I talking to a wall or something? Like, they give you nothing to actually have a conversation with. And they give you a sentence, maybe a few sentences, and then they quit talking to you for most of the day, if not days, and then they get back to you. Like, it's very an attitude of, I'll get back to you when I get back to you. There's no not even commitment, but there's no active intensity, there's no active interest. It's just very, like, you feel like kind of nothing, in their life. It's like they're trying to enforce the idea that you're strangers. So, I don't know where that will go, if I'll totally quit. I have checked my account a few times today, not gonna lie, but that's it. Alright, bye guys.